Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Aaron Antillon. He is the author of a book that will be released very soon, and it's called Blind Spots, because he believes that all leaders have blind spots. His journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I have the great pleasure of inviting back to my studio Aaron Antillon. He is he's the author of a book that is going to smash records. I can promise you that, because it's called Blind Spots, and all leaders have blind spots. Aaron would confess that he had some blind spots. Aaron, thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure.
I'm honored. Well, you brought some props. So at the age of 40, you looked in the mirror?
On my 40th birthday, I woke up expecting to get ready to celebrate my day, a day that would be normally a monumental day of celebration. I go and I look at myself in the mirror, and unbeknownst to me, I see something that I did not want to see. I saw what was standing and what was very obvious to many others, but it was still covered up to me, and it was blind spots. I asked myself this question: Aaron, if you continue going down the same path at the same pace, will you fulfill your full God-given potential? Jeff, here's what happened. Uncontrollable tears began to run down my face.
Wow.
And I would say this: for the first time, I was honest with myself. And I said no. So I began a deep dive into discovering what are those things that are limiting my potential. You know, because at that time, I was pastoring a great church here in Dallas, Fort Worth, but I was having the same situations occur in my church as well as the 2 companies that I was the owner of. I had quiet quitters. I had high turnover. I had low productivity and high stress amongst my team. At that point in time, I was pointing the finger at everybody else, because what I was measuring success as, which was the revenue that was being generated in the organizations, I saw, okay, I'm achieving greater heights than I ever have before. But yet, right in front of me, I was losing in my family, I was losing in my companies, and I was losing in a place that it mattered most within myself.
Wow.
And I knew I had to do something different.
You brought a sleep mask with you. What does this represent?
When I go and I speak on stage and I deliver this talk, and oftentimes I put it on and I'll walk the stage and I'll let the audience know that every leader has blind spots, according to Business News Daily, but very few know what they are. And if you don't know what they are, how are you able to do anything about that?
And it can be very expensive to the company, because you can have great employees who quit the boss. They don't quit the company, they quit a bad boss.
Right. Gallup says that 75% of people who leave their organization, they're actually leaving a bad manager. Whenever, and it was awkward because this was happening within the church setting as well.
Yes.
So I'm seeing this within my organizations, and I'm thinking, okay, if I just pay them more, that will keep them. Jeff, When I offered, even at a point in time, to double one of my highest profitable leaders' salary, he said, no, thank you.
Wow.
I'm out. And he went and worked for my competitor.
No kidding. What did that feel like?
That's when I began to look at myself and say, okay, what's going on here? Because I was blaming everybody else.
Yes.
Okay, they're just not committed. They're disloyal. That's part of who they are. But that isn't the case. What I was finding out is that over the course, as I began to look internally and really look at this and taking a deep dive, I was looking, and there were a lot of signs prior to. The signs that I go back and I notice now is that people were no longer coming up with their best ideas. Their creativity wasn't showing up the way that it should.
Yes.
I had a bunch of yes men who were working, they were performing, but not at their best and highest use.
Yes.
Because I had suppressed them. Because in reality, I was leading them in a place to where I was defiant.
Let's go ahead and put up your book cover as a full screen graphic, because this comes out in just a few weeks.
Yes.
Tell us what they'll learn from reading the book.
What you're going to learn from this is that you're going to be able to identify not just the blind spots, but we always want to start off on a positive note. You're going to identify the strengths that your predominant personality style has. This is taken from an approach of personality-based strategies. As a DISC master trainer, I look at the model of human behavior in all standpoints. And so we identify what are the strengths that each of the 4 personality styles has. There's a quiz that's associated with that. You can take a quiz absolutely free. And it helps you identify your predominant strengths.
Yes.
And then the possible weaknesses, the potential blind spots.
Yes.
And then what are the next action steps that you can use to turn those blind spots to what we say to clear vision. Whenever I deliver the presentation, that's whenever I take off the mask and I'll say from blind spots. And when the audience repeats back to clear vision, that's whenever we take off the mask, because I want to be on a mission to help leaders just like me and you turn our leadership blind spots into clear vision.
Have you ever fallen off the stage with your mask on?
I've emulated and I rehearsed it.
You know where the edge of the
So I know where the edge is, and I'm kind of peeking and I'm praying inside and I've rehearsed it, but I mean, we make it a lot of fun in our presentation.
It would go viral.
It definitely would.
All right, you have a free offer. Let's put that on the screen. What are you offering the viewer?
This is a free quiz. What this is going to do is it's going to, again, help you identify what are your potentials, what are the strengths, and then what are the potential blind spots within your own leadership style. It then will produce a report. You're going to see a video that's going to really encourage you, and you're going to get a couple of email sequences to give you some tips along the way, so that way you can get on the journey, on the road to turn those blind spots to clear vision.
I love it. We're going to pull up your website. It's legacytrainingnetwork.com. Let's talk about the kinds of audiences you like to speak to.
I like to speak to corporate leaders. My ideal audience are team developers, people that manage and lead teams. A lot of times it's small to mid-sized companies, organizations that they're struggling with those pitfalls of communication. Mitchell Communication Group cited that miscommunication costs businesses an average of $26,000 per employee every year.
Wow.
I was speaking to a large organization that had 5,000 employees here in the Dallas area, and the CFO was in the front row. And so I went to him and I said, do you guys have a line item in your profit and loss for miscommunication? And he looked at me, he goes, we never even thought about that. And I asked him, I said, okay, if it's not costing you $26,000 per employee, what would you say that it's costing you? He goes, it's pretty significant. And so what we do is that we provide training, coaching, leadership development, team development for organizations to help turn that around, to help turn the quiet quitting around, to help turn the low performance and high stress culture within the organizations, to turn those things around so that way they can achieve their desired goals and be able to fulfill their full God-given potential as leaders.
And since the last time you were on the show, you came out with a new sizzle reel for your speaking career.
Have you ever asked yourself why, despite all of your efforts, that your team isn't as motivated or producing the results that you envision? My name is Antillon. I'm a personality strategy expert and a transformational coach who inspires and equips business professionals with a proven system to revolutionize your leadership and your team dynamics. Today, we're going to help you identify your leadership traits, and we're going to help you identify what are the blind spots. I'm going to turn my blind spot. I've spent my career understanding what truly motivates individuals within a team. It goes far beyond merely setting goals, providing the best resources, or even the best compensation. It is all about diving into the core of each person, understanding what triggers their unique strengths, their desires, and motivations, and using that understanding to empower them to succeed and achieve their purpose.
Short 2 days for me, I've learned more about personality qualities and traits than I've learned in my entire life.
I will present a tried and true system to equip your audience with the tools to replace conflict with collaboration and to turn challenges into opportunities for growth. That's where transformation begins. That's where I step in. An empowering leader understands that whenever you place individuals according to their own personality style, according to their own gifts, you're going to get the very best out of them. After our time together, each person will not only walk away inspired, but they will be empowered with a proven, repeatable system that will consistently drive you to accomplish your desired results.
Find out there's really 4 major types of people, but we really have to understand how to relate to every other type of person. I encourage you, it will be worth your investment. Actually, my personal opinion, don't tell Aaron this, I think you ought to charge a whole lot more because it's worth it.
One of my favorite parts of being a speaker and a transformational coach is the behind-the-scenes work that I get to do with leaders and event planners to understand their biggest challenges and the results that they desire to achieve. For me, I take on the challenge to customize my presentation that speaks to your own pain points. And when you leave, you have an added tool that you know how to use, and you know what your next best steps are in order to capture your big win.
Hi, I'm Carita Peden with TD Ameritrade. I'm a senior HR manager here, and I've been dealing with people for over 30 years. The training has been a valuable tool, not only for me as an HR professional, but for my everyday life. And I would just encourage anyone to take advantage of this tool because it's truly been a game changer for me.
It will be my pleasure to work with you and to add value to your next event.
All right, we saw in there Greg Ellis, and Greg is somebody you've coached.
Yes.
Greg Ellis, Cowboys great, played with Tony Romo. I mean, how did you meet Greg, and how did you help Greg?
So I helped Greg. Well, I met Greg. I would say this. Greg is one of those men of my dreams. Now, let me, hold on, before you jump to conclusions. I was pastoring, real quick, I was pastoring a church. I was praying. My wife, I had finished praying, and my wife had asked me, what did God say? I said, I don't want to tell you. And I said, because it's way out there. And she goes, no, tell me. I said, the Lord told me that within a year, I'm going to start broadcasting on television, and he's going to connect me with the Dallas Cowboy that's going to help support it. A year later, almost to the day, the very week, I meet Greg Ellis at his house. We connect, and he approaches me and says, no, what I could see on television, let me help you get started. And so Greg was the one who got me started as I started broadcasting on KDFI My 27.
Aaron has already been generous enough to give away free gifts. He puts a lot of free information on social media. You do a lot of video tips. I found one that I really liked. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Are you a speaker, author, and you're frustrated with inconsistent paid speaking opportunities? I'm Aaron, and I specialize in turning that frustration into success by getting you recognized as the go-to expert on television. This exposure opens doors to secure consistent, high-paying speaking engagements. Let me show you how I do it using my name, Aaron. The A in Aaron stands for audience engagement. It's not just about delivering your message, but it's about connecting. The second A is authority building. Being seen on top television networks elevates your authority and credibility and establishes you as the recognized leader. The R in Aaron is revenue generation. Partnering with a booking agent, I help secure paid speaking engagements, plus I provide resources to enhance your stage presence, ensuring maximum revenue potential. The O in Aaron is I optimize strategies. I use a variety of techniques to refine the strategies in order for you to achieve your goals. The N stands for niche positioning. I make you unforgettable in your industry. By crafting tailored strategies, I position you as the go-to authority in your niche. Are you ready to secure consistent, high-paying speaking engagements and achieve industry recognition through television? Click the link below to book your free call right now.
All right, Aaron, we just have a few minutes left, so look into the camera on the left and talk about how your Speaking Academy can help people.
Well, we have a 3-day live event called Amplify Your Voice Speakers Academy. It's an all-inclusive event at a beautiful resort in Orlando, Florida. One of the big challenges that speakers have to get consistently booked and paid is their professional assets. They have the desire, but yet what they lack is the proof, the professional proof.
Yes.
And so in that 3-day event, it's not a conference, it's not just a training, it's more of a workshop where we put together their professional assets, their speaker reel, their speaker one sheet, story reel, and they leave in 3 days with the professional assets that they need in order to be positioned as the expert in their industry.
Outstanding. Aaron, thank you for sharing your wisdom, and thank you for teaching us all that it's important to recognize your blind spots.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
We're going to put his website on the screen. Again, that's legacytrainingnetwork.com, the great Aaron Antillon. Thanks for coming on the show.
All right.
Yeah, you bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.